Today, I'll be meeting with Joseph. Though he and his family make well over the U.S. median household income, they finance nearly every purchase, have 2 cars they cannot afford, and their debt has ballooned in such a way that their monthly budget is completely destroyed. This is Financial Audit.
Hi, everyone. I'm Joseph Garcia. I'm originally from Houston, Texas, but I'm in Killeen, Texas, next to Fort Hood, and I'm 33 years old and happy to be here to share a little bit about myself.
Yeah, what do you do for a living?
So I'm a U.S. Army officer, and my specialty is human resources.
So how much do you make a year?
So before taxes, I make $102,000 a year roughly. After taxes, I'm looking at right about $85,000.
Nice, that is definitely the highest income we've had on the show so far. So that's really cool. So in the human resources department, are you like a manager within that, higher level?
Yeah, so I'm a human resources manager. I deal with helping soldiers getting their pay issues, evaluations. There's a lot of similarities between civilian HR and military HR, but also lots of differences.
In your checkings, brought in was $5,860, but taken out was $5,797. Where do you think the majority of that money goes?
So I have 2 separate accounts. The classic checking, I tend to use more for day-to-day things, and then the rewards checking I use for my car loans, loan payments, and other things.
How much do you try to save on a monthly basis or annual basis?
So monthly, I try to put away anywhere from $100 to $200.
$100 to $200, but making $102,000. Why do you save so little?
I have a lot of debt to pay off personally, and then the fact of the matter is I also have 4 kids and a mother-in-law to support. So that's where most of my money goes to.
On this checkings account, the main checking is transfers. I assume they're going to either paying off debt or going into the savings one.
Yeah.
Does that sound correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. You spent $5,797 in here, but most of it's just being transferred, not actual spending.
Right.
Because really in here, I see Netflix. I don't see eating out. Do you not eat out much?
Hardly ever.
That's actually really good, especially for someone trying to pay off debt. So that's really cool. Okay, so taking a look at your savings checking. So tell me how this works exactly. In terms of, is there like an interest on here? And if so, how much?
So neither of those accounts really generate any kind of interest there. They do offer a monetary reward based on the amount that you accrue at the end of the month. It's a really small amount, but it's better than nothing.
So for this checkings account, the savings version, so you did start it with $5,149 and you added $5,657 and then you took out $10,743.
That sounds right.
Yeah. What does it usually look like on a month-to-month basis?
So it's anywhere from that $5,000 to $7,000 a month territory.
Now I saw a lot of some high payments from things like Lowe's. What are you spending $600 on a Lowe's, $544?
Oh, so that's a good story. So we actually put together a fence on our rental property, and that was pretty costly for the materials.
Do you own the rental property?
Yes, we do.
What's your monthly mortgage on that every month?
So the mortgage on that is $1,850.
What's your the rent?
So the rent is $1,806. So not a huge margin.
So did you just purchase it, or did you live in it before and now you're renting it out?
So we had purchased it in April.
Okay.
But it didn't work out for us, so we decided to turn it into a rental property instead.
Okay, and do you guys have a house now that you live in that you own?
No, so we're actually renting a house right now. Hopefully trying to time the property market at the right time, see whether mortgage rates are going to go up or go down. It's anyone's tell right now.
Yeah, definitely up as of now. It's almost 6% as of recording this video. What's your monthly rent?
So the monthly rent in the house that we're renting right now is $1,666, and that's all inclusive.
And then there's things like Global GH LLC.
So that's the name for one of the my loan repayment companies.
Oh, okay. So we have some of the loans right now. I see the auto loans. Didn't get the mortgage, but we know what that is now. And then I have a credit card as well. What other debts do you have on top of that?
So that's really about it. Besides my two, the cars, my car and then my wife's car, and my American Express, we have the mortgage, and then we have my debt consolidation loan repayment. So that's what that GH LLC.
Debt consolidation. So what debt is in there?
So I originally had two credit cards with a balance of $25,000 each. And then a little over a year ago, negotiated down for that debt to about $30,000 instead of $50,000.
That's good. And is that what's in there now about?
So that's what that debt consolidation loan.
How much is in there though?
About $31,000.
So it's gone up.
It's gone up due to the interest rate.
So your monthly minimum payments though, they're going up.
No, the monthly minimum payments per the stipulations of the contract is about $900 a month.
Why did you end up getting into that credit card debt in the first place?
So it was years of reckless spending. A lot of that debt was when I was in college, and it's hard to work a job and then have student loans and everything, and they pay you peanuts for any kind of student jobs.
Do you have any more student debt?
No, unfortunately, I paid off all my student loan debt, which is more than a lot of people can say.
Does your wife have any debt that's not in here?
Yes, so I'm not fully aware of all my wife's debt. I do know that she has a lot of student loan debt. Not really sure what the total amount is on that. It's anywhere from $10,000 to $15,000.
Is y'all's finances together or separate?
So ours are basically separate. The only thing I don't see is her student loans, but I basically pay for everything from my accounts.
Oh, okay. So everything except for the student loan.
Right.
Well, how much does she bring in a year then?
So she's a stay-at-home mom.
Gotcha.
We're a one-income family.
Since we're already talking about debt, let's take a look at the debt. So the debt that we have, let's look at the, I guess, easier one first. The platinum card. So it sounds like you got into issues with credit cards earlier. Why'd you not end up including this in the consolidation?
Because I had acquired that after the debt consolidation. I closed down those two particular credit cards because, quite frankly, I didn't want to have anything to do with them.
Why'd you get another credit card if you were already having issues with other credit cards?
So I needed to have some kind of credit history built, and then just closing out all the accounts would have completely killed my credit.
Can I get you to check your credit score right now?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, let's pull it up and see what it is.
Okay, so my credit score is 648 currently.
Definitely not the worst we've seen, but definitely not the best either.
Okay.
So your main purpose behind getting the credit card was to continue having credit history?
Yes, build up a positive payment history.
So in your credit card payments, lots of Affirm payments, where are those going to? What do they necessarily do?
We use Affirm for, my wife has taken a class to be a mortgage loan officer. So the full cost of that class was about $500. So Affirm lets you break it up into chunks. Right,
so you financed that. Why didn't you just get it all in cash?
So we didn't have all the cash on hand at the time.
AT&T Mobility Recurring. So it's you, your wife, 4 kids. Is that why it's $257?
Oh yeah. So
is that monthly?
Yeah.
Whew.
That includes 4 iPads and 5 devices.
Wait. What's charging on the iPads? Is that they're financed through AT&T?
Yes,
So you're financing everything.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I really wish I could have just bought those iPads right off the bat, but when Christmas comes around and that's what the kids want.
I mean, at some point, I think like you could have purchased some of these things, like your wife's course, in cash, if there weren't these reoccurring monthly payments of things that you already financed, like 4 iPads.
Oh yeah, there's some great lessons to be learned here.
The Affirm one will be paid off pretty quickly.
Yeah.
When will these iPads be paid off, do you know?
The iPads have about 6 months left.
And storage, $165 a month?
Yes.
Why?
So that's all of my mother-in-law's stuff that doesn't fit in the house.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Okay, and does she stay with you guys?
Yeah.
Okay. NIPR.
So that goes towards some of the professional development courses that I take.
Okay, but work doesn't pay for it?
No, unfortunately it doesn't.
Okay, so those are monthly payments that are being made on things, a lot of that you finance, but then also on here are things that you straight up financed through the credit card.
Yeah.
You financed the Sam's Club purchase?
Yeah.
Why?
So Amex does this thing where it's called, you can either call paid overtime or plan it. Sometimes it's easier for me to pay it over time and then go back and pay it off more quickly than the terms in the American Express. That's typically why I do that.
Again, instead of having all these things financed, why not just put them on the card, pay that card off every month, and then collect whatever bonuses come with that card?
So I do get points through the American Express.
I know, but they're probably negated at this time because of the amount of interest. Like, it's still costing you more than you're gaining from those points.
Yeah.
So why do you finance these things? We got a PayPal finance. We got a How Money Works. I assume that's like another course or something. Yeah. AT&T, World Financial Group, Right Space Storage, more storage. Another AT&T. There's the Sam's Club. Another AT&T, and Graphics Solutions.
Yeah. So the intent behind that is, as we pay off other things and we go back to those particular plans to pay them off as quickly as we can. But this is more of a convenience factor for us.
What it looks like, it's more of a financing your entire life.
Yep.
So with the Platinum card, $3,867 balance, because of the way things are structured with finances, a $1,262 minimum payment.
Yeah.
That's insane. That's absolutely crazy, with an 18.99% interest rate. And that's why those points are negated, because you're getting killed with interest. Oh, I don't think... So you'll still have credit history because you have your mortgage, you have your car loans, which we haven't gotten into yet, and we have your loan repayment package. I don't think you should have this credit card. I really don't. I don't think you need it. There will be a little ding to the credit score closing an account, like the account history won't be as long and stuff like that, but I think it's worth it over time because you're literally financing your life, and that's not sustainable, is it?
Oh no, it's not at all. And believe me, if I could pay off that balance and be done with that card, I would.
And people are watching this right now and they're like, well, if I made $102,000 a year, I could easily pay off my $3,867 balance.
Sure, ideally, but you're also not taking into account that any emergencies that come up, the cost of everything is going up. And then food is a big thing. The cost of food is going up. And then when you have only one source of income to pay off a whole family to take care of, it only goes so far.
But you're still well above the median household income. So let's take a look at your car loan. So this definitely struck me scary. Now that I know you're married, I'm a little happier with it. So I was like, oh, please don't tell me this dude has 2 cars. But okay, we have a 2020 Chevy Traverse and a 2020 Jeep Compass. Who drives the $41,446 car?
So that's my wife's car.
Okay.
Typically for the kids, because transporting those kids around comfortably takes up a lot of space.
So without even going into the values of those cars, the value of the debt owed on both of these cars is 69% of your pre-tax income.
Yeah.
That's very scary. Why'd you go... Were these bought new?
Yes, they were bought new.
Why? Why'd you do that?
Well, for the safety reasons, and then for the fact of the matter is we needed a car that had a warranty on it.
This is brutal. Do you know what the 2020 Chevy Traverse is worth today?
No, I'd be curious to know.
Car prices have been pretty steady through the pandemic just because of the shortage. So I'm going to assume that they're probably worth right around there. You can get safe cars that are safe, negotiate a warranty if that's, a sticking point for you. $10,000 each that are used, that are like 5 years old. The cars weren't like overly completely dangerous 5 years ago. Like, there are always new features that are getting better, of course, but 2020, if you got something that was 2015, it has a lot of the same features, has a screen in it still. Is this something you'd ever be willing to sell, pay off these loans?
We have considered selling one of the cars, but the problem is we both refinanced both the cars.
You guys just keep getting sucked into every loan situation that anyone presents to you. It's just like, oh man. Oh. I would sell a minimum the Chevy Traverse.
So that's
tomorrow.
Actually the car we need more because it's bigger than the Compass.
You can get a bigger car that's 5 years older for a lot cheaper. This is killing you. This is on that one a $658 a month minimum payment. On the smaller one, a $465 minimum monthly payment. So let's just do some quick math here real quick. $1,123 a month in car payments. Times that by 12, $13,476 a year. Are you not like throwing up yet? Yeah, that Chevy Traverse needs to be sold. It just does. Just because 4 kids. Maybe not all of them want to go to college, but I bet some of them do. They could be paid for. But not if everything in the world is financed, having interest build on them, and then having these 2 very expensive cars that unfortunately you cannot afford on $102,000 a year. Now, if the debt from the consolidated cars from before was paid off, which will take a bit to pay off because that's a lot.
Yeah.
And the Platinum card, which you could pay off, I think you could pay off quickly, $3,867, which you pretty much have to because the minimum payment is $1,262. If you paid those off, had some cheaper cars, two $10,000 cars even, within just a few years, one, you'd be able to save towards their colleges, you'd be able to save towards your retirement, and you would eventually be able to go back and get a brand new car because you actually do make a lot of money compared to, the majority of people. You can have these nice things, but not with the way that the finances are currently situated. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Let's look forward then. What do you want to see happen to these finances in the next 5 years?
So even sooner than that, I want to get out of this debt within the next year. That American Express is the very first thing that I want to bring down. Have discussed selling one of the cars, which will probably happen after this summer. And then taking out big chunks of everything that's already been financed previously. And then after that, my priority is the debt consolidation loan. Pay a good chunk of that so I can get that at a better rate because the interest rates are god awful. And yep, you're exactly right.
So what is your plan to get there? Other than just saying we're going to pay this off, what are you going to do in order to be able to pay those off quicker?
So there's nothing else from this point forward that we're financing.
Even on your Platinum card?
Right.
Okay, and this is a conversation that you both have had?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Because again, these are like the most recent 30 days, so it's not like these are ultra old payments or anything like that.
Oh yeah, we've had multiple conversations about these.
Currently, your minimum monthly payments on rent, the different debt that you have, comes out to $4,951 a month. Does that sound right to you?
That's pretty close.
The majority of that are things that you essentially decided to finance, so you didn't have the money to pay for them. You just said, okay, we'll pay for them over time. And you're still paying for them. You bring in $5,860. After only having about $900 every month, you still have to get groceries for a 6-person family. Utilities are covered by the apartment.
Yes.
You still want to save some money. You want to do the projects like the Lowe's project that you did, which, it was like $500, so it's like half of that. Is that scary? Do you guys know that?
Oh, we're very well aware of the financial situation.
Yeah.
And it's probably be a lot more scary to other people than us.
The way I would do this, just because, first of all, the minimum payment on the Platinum card is insane. Pay that off as soon as you can, and I think you don't have much to cut back on because these are required payments, but pay that off in like 3 months, which you're almost forced to with the minimum payments. Pay that off within 3 months, then boom, all of a sudden your minimum payments drops by $1,000. You have an extra $1,000 to play with on a monthly basis. Then you can take that and you can throw that at, I would sell the cars, but if you're not, I would probably pay off the Compass and then the larger one, and then pay off your very large credit card consolidation after that. But I mean, the more you pay those off, the more you have left every month, and then you're rocking with $5,860 minus rent, because your mortgage essentially pays for itself with the rent. Barely, it's a little under, but having $4,200 a month to play with, you guys could be so freaking rich so quick.
So I know I have no problem selling my car, so convincing my wife to sell other car would be very difficult.
Sure. Yeah, it's important to be on the same page. That makes sense. Any final thoughts?
No, this has been a very enlightening experience for someone else to go through my finances and then kind of help illustrate to other people how crushing the cycle of debt can be.
Well, thanks for being here and let me beat up on you a little bit.
It's my pleasure.
Let Joseph know what you think about his financial situation in the comments below. Give this video a like, subscribe, and stick around for more. Thanks. If you're in the Austin area and you wish to participate in a financial audit, email casting@calebhammer.com.